Hi, I'm Mark Hansen, prop master on Breaking Bad. We're here on the Superlab set. Why don't you come on in and take a look? This is the famous box cutter knife that we see this season. Things that surprised me about the knife was the color. And what Vince really liked about the color, and the reason he picked it, is because when it's on the ground, it stands out. We knew we'd have a red floor and lots of red blood, and he wanted a knife that stuck out. And a lot of Vince's props that he goes with are ones that are sort of unique, so the audience will remember it from one to the next episode or even season to season. So whenever you see a green knife, someone's gonna be like, oh, that's bad. That's a bad knife. This is Gail's coffee maker that we established last year. He concocted a rig to make the world's best coffee. Gail's character is very scientific, and everything he does with precision. It's very thought out. And so when we were building this, we had to keep all that in mind. It just had to be as scientific looking, with the end result just being coffee. We have actual working elements, however, it doesn't actually make coffee, but it's supposed to look like it is. So we have filters, crafts, vacuum pot, a vacuum compressor. We tried to make a trail for the coffee to go through. We fill all the lines with coffee, and then we fill this final carafe with coffee, and then the actor has the ability to come over and actually use it. This is one of the beginning elements of the cook, and this is called a mixing tank. And the mixing tank is where a lot of that aluminum foil will go into, as well as a few different chemicals that we add in. And a lot of times you'll see them start up here, and then the camera will be looking up. And what we have is another one of these mixing tanks that has a port cut out for the camera to look up as the pour comes on. And we classify that as a Breaking Bad shot. So here we are at the cooling refrigerators for the meth.
I was out with Mike helping make pickups.
Picking up what?
Cash that drops.
The little gag we do for the trays is we've filled them with like an acrylic, a tinted acrylic, so that when they're in here and being lit, they have a nice blue reflection to them. And this is the hydrofluoric acid that we use to dissolve Victor, as well as a few other people this season. True hydrofluoric acid is clear. In our case, we use water. That way it's safe. What's really interesting about this meth here, whenever the actor has to lift it, we're talking multiple takes. It's usually 10, 15 takes. So if this was truly full of meth, it would be a problem. He would be hurting. So what we do a lot of times is we will false the inside. So essentially it's just a small portion of the actual bin is filled, so it's much lighter. The closest thing I found was blue cotton candy rock candy. And it does, it tastes good. All right. Some of the cooking elements. The shredded tinfoil is definitely part of the process of a true meth cook. This is a result of one of my guys spending hours. It happens on my truck with 3 industrial shredders and one of my guys for probably 6 hours feeding it. This is sodium hydroxide, which is a crystal in real life, and the product that I use is just a pool salt because it's benign, and when they pour it into the tank, which usually is full of liquid, it just dissolves away, and we don't have to scoop it out and re-clean it to do another take.
I'm done, that's it, finished. Nothing else happens until I get my partner back.
The camera represents the eyes of Gus, and he's now gotten to a point where he just needs to keep an eye on Walt and Jesse all the time. The camera is operated by one of my prop guys. It has a joystick and a camera, and he locks himself up in a room up here. He'll move it on cue to however they need it done, and then they record all the footage through the camera as well, and that's played back on Gus's laptop. Thanks for stopping by the Superlab. That's the end of the prop tour, and we'll see you guys next season.